3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome everybody. This is Coach BV with Shimmy Moves Sports Talk. I'm here with my cousin, good friend, um, former Bronco, former Minnesota Vikings, and a former Pro Bowler, Byron Chamberlain. What's going on, brother?
Good. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. Doing good, man. Just trying to stay warm, man. We got hit with a little snowstorm. I know you living it up out there in LA in the in the sun in the
Yeah,
sunshine
nice.
state.
We got some nice weather out here,
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. Well, hey, man. I gotta go back. I'd like to thank my sponsors, um, Paul, Michael Insurance. Um, if you need any type of insurance, you can hit them up at 405-632-2770. Once again, Paul Michael Insurance handles all types in all insurance. And also thank my sponsor, Doggy Style Hot Dogs. And there it is. So hey man, let's talk about the draft, man. When you finished up at Wayne State, leading up as far as the combine, leading up to the NFL draft, how was that whole experience?
man. I mean, it's kind of nerve wracking. I mean, the simple thing that you have been taught, since you're young, when you're playing a team sport, is it's all about the team. It's all about the team, and so. But once you're going through this process, there is no team. It's all about you.
Yeah,
Uh, and so you have to take care of yourself and the best way you can. You got to make the best decisions for yourself as possible. Whether that's and there's a whole lot of decisions to be made during that time period. Do you stay in school? Do you go and drop out of school and start training 24/7? Get a trainer. A lot of guys that during that time period, and I'll just speak from the guys that I was going through the process with. They dropped out of school and went to facilities in Arizona or Florida or California to go train
yeah,
for the combine. Um, for me, I stayed in school. I stayed in school because I wanted to finish my degree. It was important to me,
yeah.
um, and I just worked out at Wayne State's facilities.
Gotcha.
It wasn't the most ideal thing to do because it's the winter time in Nebraska, and then
Yeah,
go roll the spring, and it's still cold, so there's not a lot of outdoor work you can do. Wasn't getting the proper instruction, but it was just, I was hungry. Um, I was doing the best thing I knew for myself
yeah,
to get myself ready for the combine. The other part of that is selecting an agent and going through that process
yeah,
as well. So there was a lot of decisions that needed to be made that were going to really impact you and how you were able to prepare for the combine.
gotcha. Now, um, agent process, was that pretty tough? Trying to find the right agent
Yeah,
that was gonna
yeah.
work
Just
for
trying
you?
to find somebody you trust. Trying to find somebody that's a good fit. Somebody that you know is going to do what you need them to do. And everybody's different,
Yeah.
and everybody has different needs. And you might be depending on whether you're a small school guy,
Hmm.
whether you're a big time player from a big time school, whether you're a guy from just a school that doesn't, you didn't get a lot of publicity or airtime or whatever. So everybody has different needs. For me, I just needed someone who I felt like, I had done a great job. He started at Missouri and then ended up at Wayne State.
Yeah.
But but I felt like I needed someone, a big time agent, someone who had some big time connections that could get me in the All-Star games, that could, like I said, get me into the combine or whatever. And that's where I went with when I first started a bigger agency.
Yeah.
I knew a guy, I knew he could pick up the phone, get me into the Hula Bowl, get me into the Shrine or the Senior Bowl or whatever, be invited to the combine, and that's what I did.
Cool. Now, moving forward a little bit, you got drafted 7th round to the Denver Broncos, correct?
Yeah.
Now, during let's say preseason or whatnot, when did you know that you solidified a slot on the roster?
It's funny because being a 7th round draft pick, you're never sure. You're never sure. But I'll tell you, the day that I know that I impressed a lot of my teammates and a lot of coaches, I'll tell you that story.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting a lot of time. Even in practice, in the preseason games, I wasn't getting a lot. But there was an incident that happened in practice where, because we never ran in practice, we never ran like sprints after practice. Our coaches, like, you just were supposed to be in shape, and if you weren't in shape, they just cut you.
Gotcha.
So Mike Shanahan, to spice up the end of practice one day, he says, "Okay, we'll offense against defense, and offense, you got to score a touchdown, put the ball on the 20-yard line. Defense, you got to stop them. You can't go for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
So if they stop you on 3rd down, that's it."
Gotcha.
So a lot of the veterans kind of got out. They didn't want to participate because they didn't want to. If they lost, we'd have to run 15 110s, and nobody wanted.
Heck no.
I actually get in with the first team offense. I'd never been in with the first team offense. I'm in there with the John Elway.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys on the first team offense. Me and Rod Smith was the other receiver.
Yeah.
It just so happens, 1st down we didn't get any yards. 2nd down we didn't get any yards. So now it's 3rd down, and we got to get the 1st down to keep the drive alive.
Yeah.
And we called a play X deep over, and I'm the Z. So as the Z, you're basically running the clear out route down the middle so they can throw the ball to the X coming across the middle.
Gotcha.
So you got to clear out the safeties.
Yeah.
And so, but they never throw that ball. You're just, we used to call it the stunt dummy. You're the stunt dummy.
Yeah.
And so, but in my mindset back then, it was just my opportunity to play. And so I never got many chances. So I would go really hard. I'd run as fast as I possibly could run on every play. Yeah. And so I ran the route, happened to beat the corner, the safety, Steve Atwater, Tyree Braxton, the other safety. I beat them. And I'm wide open. Yeah. And John throws the ball, and I actually catch it and score 80-yard touchdown.
Wow.
And
wow.
And what's crazy is the whole entire offense ran down at where I scored, and they celebrated like we just won the Super Bowl or something. But they were just celebrating because we didn't have to run.
No doubt.
The 110s after practice. But it was a thing that at that play and that time was like everybody on that offense and on our team was like, hey, wait, this guy can play. This guy's pretty good. Yeah. Some of our coaches took notice of that, especially Gary Kubiak, our offensive coordinator. Yeah. He really took notice of that play, and it's like, okay, we might have something in this kid right here. No doubt. So that's kind of the time there. I caught everyone's attention as far as the coaches and the players on the team or whatever. But I never knew that I made it until the cut day.
Yeah, no doubt. But that put a footprint in their minds about you
but
when that happened.
but you're never sure. You're never sure, man.
Yeah,
Especially when you're a late round draft pick.
yeah,
You're not sure until that final cut day, and you're still in the room.
no
And I was
doubt.
okay. Well, I guess I'm still here. So
No doubt. Facts. No, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Um, Now, made the team. Let's move forward to. I remember we talked plenty of times about this, but going into that first Super Bowl, let's talk about the playoff game before that, leading into the first Super Bowl you guys won. Let's go from there to the Super Bowl. How the locker room was, how the feeling was with you guys.
So we wind up going on our playoff run that year. We had to play Jacksonville in the first round, and they had beat us the year before when we were heavy favorites. We were the number one seed in the AFC. So it was a big upset. So we go back, play Jacksonville.
Yeah.
We avenge that loss. We play Kansas City in Kansas City the next round, and they had beaten us. They had beaten us early in the season on a last-second field goal, so we had to go to Kansas City. If we would have won that game, that playoff game would have been played in Denver.
Gotcha.
So we went there and kind of avenged that loss, and we called our playoff run the revenge tour.
Gotcha.
Because it was all teams that we played before, and they beat us that year. And then the final, the AFC Championship, was a rematch against Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, and they had beat us pretty good that regular season.
Yeah.
But we knew we hadn't played our best game that game, and they beat us. So going back to Pittsburgh, we knew if we played at to our level that we can play at, that we had a strong possibility of us going in there and winning that game.
Gotcha.
And which we did. And so we go into Pittsburgh and beat them. And just the feeling in the locker room. And Denver hadn't been to a Super Bowl in a while. I think the last Super Bowl they had been to was 1990, and they got blown out by the San Francisco 49ers. So, you look up and it's January '98, and we're just beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're on the way to Super Bowl 32. It was just amazing, that feeling in the locker room. That,
wow.
Hey man, we were underdogs. We had to go on the road, all these playoff games on the road, and we did it. And now we're going to the Super Bowl, and we had a great mix of veterans and younger players and great leaders in that locker room, and young players who were making names for themselves. And I just remember being on the plane back to Denver after we won that game, and just like, everybody kept saying over and over, we're going to the Super Bowl, man. We're going to the Super Bowl. Can you believe it, man? We're going to the Super Bowl. That feeling was incredible.
Yeah, when y'all singing the song on the plane?
Yeah. So the song was, the Super Bowl was in San Diego that year.
Yeah.
So, there was a popular song by Notorious B.I.G. His album that came out, and the song was Going Back to Cali. Yeah. And so we're all on the plane, and everybody's singing that song.
Wow.
Going back to Cali.
Yeah.
And man, just to know that we're going to Cali.
Yeah.
For the Super Bowl in San Diego, it was a great feeling.
Nice. Now, explain to everybody when y'all going to California or San Diego, and y'all get there, just explain the whole experience.
Man, so it was a 2-week process. So the first week, man, you guys try to just take care of your business.
Yeah.
As far as like tickets for families, the Broncos organization's first class, so we didn't have to worry about flights for our family or hotels. They took care of all that.
Sweet.
Our owner Pat Bowlen, to me, the greatest owner in the NFL.
Gotcha.
May he rest in peace. But they took care of everything. They said, hey, man, we're going to take care of your family as far as their flights to San Diego. We got a family hotel, they can all stay in, which is right across from our team hotel. So it was very close. You just had to worry about getting your tickets and allocating your tickets, or who's going to get them, or whatever you're going to do with them. So they try to make it as easy as possible, so we could just worry about preparing for the game. So that first week, man, we put in a lot of work. We put in our game plan. We were prepared to play that game at the end of the week. We treated it like a normal game week. And then the next week, once we flew out to California, it was just about fine tuning the game plan. All the work really had been done. You got a couple of days in there in the beginning of the week that you could relax and have a time and go see the sights and participate in the Super Bowl events or whatever. But we had a good veteran mix of guys that have been to Super Bowls before, and they let us know, like, hey, man, you can't get caught up into all that stuff. You got to, take it in and enjoy it, but understand why you're there.
Yeah.
And, you're there to not just play in the Super Bowl, but win the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
And that was.
So, night before the game.
Yeah.
Butterflies.
Did not sleep a wink.
Wow, I know you did, man.
The thing about it wasn't because of nerves or anything. No, it wasn't nervous.
More anxious.
It was literal. It was anxious. It was ready to go. It was, man, this is something that you dreamed about all your life. This is the biggest game in the world.
No doubt.
This is the Super Bowl, and you're just anxious and ready to get it played and get out there and literally live your dream.
Yeah.
And you got guys that have been playing football since they were 5, 6, 7 years old, and every kid in America dreams about playing in the Super Bowl, and literally that thing was literally hours away. So you didn't, you don't want to sleep and miss it. So you got a little bit of sleep that night, but not much.
Wow, no, that's awesome. So you guys. First Super Bowl that you've been in, what's the feeling like in that tunnel, hearing that crowd, getting ready to?
Oh man,
what's the feeling? What's that? What was that?
It was the greatest feeling, and I remember Phil Simms talking about it. He was talking to some guys on our team. Like, when you walk through that tunnel, man, he's like, it's going to hit you. It's going to really hit you that, okay, this is the Super Bowl, and this is the biggest game you've ever played in your life. And he was exactly right, man. You're in the locker room, that's one thing, and everything, because you kind of have a normal routine. But then you get into that tunnel, you're walking out, and they're about to announce your team, and man, that it just hits you like right then and there.
Yeah.
And then when you run out on the field, man, and you see the fireworks and the crowd screaming, whatever, man, you're like, okay, this is big. This is not normal. This is big.
Yeah. Wow. So in the game, the game started, everything's going. What part of that game did you guys know, hey, we got it? I know what you're going to talk about. That'll be the Elway play, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. We were basically playing toe to toe with them. Had a little, grabbed the lead. They came back and it's going back and forth. But we go in the third quarter.
Yeah. And
John makes the famous run and on third down and dives over the guy, gets spun around.
Yeah, I remember
the helicopter
that
play. And when he gets up, he the adrenaline that's flowing through his body, and he just pumps his fist in the air and looks over to the sideline, man. And I'm telling you, the energy and the electricity that went through our team, every player, every coach. I mean, it was like wow, we're gonna win this game.
No
Like,
doubt.
and you know, the thing about it too, you know, John was like 37 at the time.
Yeah.
He had played in 3 Super Bowls, and Denver got their butt kicked every time.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, man, if this old man is out here throwing his body around like this, giving it up for the team like this, like we got to do the same. Like we got to match his energy and his effort, and match his intensity. And like, there's no way we're gonna let this guy, lose this game, because we knew, like, man, it's getting close to the end for him, and how many more opportunities would he have to really win a Super Bowl? And that was the only thing literally missing from his Hall of Fame resume, is he won a Super Bowl. So there was no way we were going to lose that game after that play, man. You could feel it. It was palpable. You could,
Wow. So man, game, y'all won that game, right? Like, when you saw them zeros going down, or the clock going down to 00, and you saw that confetti, what was going on that sideline?
Well, but it actually, it was right, but it was before that,
Okay.
Because Green Bay had the ball. And
Okay.
They were driving. We had scored what eventually was the game-winning touchdown, but they were driving to try to tie the score.
Yep.
And they went for it on 4th down. And they Brett Favre threw the ball to trying to connect with the tight end Chamora, and John Mobley knocked the ball away on 4th down, incomplete. And you see our sideline just erupt like a volcano or something. Like, guys are just jumping, throwing their helmets in the air, like everything. I remember the team owner Pat Bowlen, man, he jumped so high and everything in his pockets just flew out of his pockets. Cell phone, wallet, money, all kind of things. Credit cards. And he's actually on the field picking all this stuff up as the offense is going back on the field, because we got to go back on the field and down the ball one last time and run the clock out. But just that feeling, man, of, hey, it's we did it. We actually not just came, but we actually won the Super Bowl. That was the best feeling in the world. I mean, it's indescribable, man. It was the best feeling in the world to know that we just won. And all we got to do is go on the field, take a knee, and the time's going to run out. And we did that. I remember the guys picking up John Elway, carrying him off the field. Most of the time they picked the coach up, carry him off, but they wind up picking our quarterback up and carrying him off the field. So that was awesome. And the other moment that stands out in my mind is actually being up on that stage and they handing you the trophy, and you're holding that trophy, you're kissing it, you're passing it around to your teammates, man, and that was just awesome.
Hey, you got that trophy on hand, don't you? Grab it so the folks can see it.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, big dog.
Hold on.
And them rings, bring them rings too.
Hold on.
Yes, sir. Going back to Cali.
All right, so let's see if we can get this in the frame.
That's
see
sweet.
Right there.
No, I like that.
Super Bowl, AFC versus NFC, Broncos 31, Packers 24.
Yeah, that's
January 25th, 1998, San Diego.
Yeah.
It's got my name, Byron Chamberlain, 86 tight end. Yep, there you go.
Oh, that's tight. Yeah.
That's called the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, that Lombardi, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, it don't get much official than that, big dog. I know you got them rings. See them rings, too.
Oh, man, come on, man. I'm not...
Yeah.
But, But yeah, that holding that thing and you're on the stage and you're kissing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That was the moment, man. That was the moment you play for.
Facts.
Every every
No.
every every player plays for that moment, whether it's in the NFL or the
Yeah.
NBA or Major League
Yep.
Baseball or hockey or whatever. Every soccer, every player that's playing out there is playing to win the championship.
No, that's real. Now, man, y'all done shocked the world. Won that Super Bowl. Y'all did whatever y'all did that summer. Coming back now. Coming back. Getting ready for the next year. Uh, yeah. I know we had talked about this a lot. What was it? When it? I guess Elway or whoever comes, say, hey man, let's go win another one.
So what happened was, you go and you're enjoying your off season. Eventually, you come back and it's time to get back to work for the next season. And I remember being in a team meeting, and it was just players, and Shannon Sharp was actually the guy who stood up and in front of the team. He said, "Listen, guys, winning the Super Bowl, man, that was special. That was great. But there's a lot of teams out there that's won one in a row."
Yeah.
And he's like, to be special, if you want to be remembered, you got to do it again. Like, you got to go back to back. Like, that's how you get remembered. That's how you become a special team where people remember you in the history books.
Yep.
And so the challenge was put out there, like, hey, we did it once. Let's go do it again. And so that was our mission. That second, that next year was, okay, we're gonna go and we're the champs, and we're gonna go do it again. And we know we're gonna get everybody's best shot. Like, everybody's gonna try to knock you off of that mountaintop. And so that was the challenge for the next year.
Gotcha. Now, you used to tell me, man, you guys went, what, y'all was 14-0 or something, or going into
So we started
next
the year 13-0.
13-0, okay.
13-0. You play 16 games, so we won 13 games in a row. We had one game in there when we played Kansas City. That was really challenging. We had to come back.
Yeah.
I think we had a 10 or 14 point deficit in the fourth quarter. We wound up coming back and winning that game. Most of the games, we did what we had to do and really dominate. So, we're 3 games left in the season. Excuse me. And there's a lot of talk about can we go undefeated? Can the Broncos go undefeated?
Yeah.
You have the best offense, the best quarterback, the best running back. That's the year Terrell Davis ran for 2,000 yards. We have the best tight end, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
2 great receivers offensively. Our defense was really good. Our defense was so underrated because we had so many stars on offense that everybody wanted to talk about our offense, but they didn't really realize, like, look at what our defense is doing. So, guys like Neil Smith and Alfred Williams, Steve Atwater, Bill Romanowski.
But Keith Traylor. Keith Traylor too, right?
Keith Traylor.
Yep.
Darian Gordon, Ray Crockett. We had some really, really good players. Tyrone Braxton.
Darius Johnson, I think.
Darius Johnson.
Former Sooner, baby.
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And we just had John Mobley again, Glenn Cadrez. Man, we had so many just really good players. Ma'a Tanavasa, can't forget about him. And so, but our defense, but our offense had the stars. Our offense had, all the Hall of Famers.
No doubt.
On the offensive side, so it was like really like just our goal was like to win the Super Bowl, not to go undefeated. But everybody started talking about, they're going to go undefeated. Can they go undefeated? And so it kind of built up a little pressure. It kind of built up we wind up going to New York and getting beat on a Hail Mary pass.
Yeah.
in New York. But and even in there, we still had a chance to win that game.
Gotcha.
Um, but we wound up finishing the year 14-2,
Mm-hmm.
and so number one seed again. So the playoffs had to come through Denver.
No doubt.
So we felt pretty good about our chances.
Now that game. I mean, we was talking about the game before the Super Bowl. You said something about the jumbotron.
Yeah, so we're playing. We're in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
We're playing the New York Jets, and the Jets to us were the Jets. I mean, to us they weren't on our level. But you got to play the game.
Got to.
But they had done something in Denver that they had never done before, and they're playing the NFC Championship game on the jumbotron. They're playing it in the locker room on the TVs in the locker room. So we're sitting there watching the game because the other team that had a great year that year was the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
They went 15-1. They had an incredible season by Randy Moss and Chris Carter.
Yeah.
And the quarterback Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
And they put up a lot of points. They actually set the NFL record, broke the NFL record for points in a season, and we were right behind them. But they put up a lot of points, man, that year, and everybody anticipated it was going to be Denver against Minnesota in the Super Bowl. So we're watching this game, and of course, Atlanta pulls the upset, beats them in overtime on a field goal. And once Atlanta beat them, we're like, man, we just won the Super Bowl because we'll kill Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah.
But the game we're playing the game, and next thing you know, it's the third quarter, and we're down 10-0.
Y'all down to the Jets are beating y'all right now, right?
The Jets are beating us 10-0. We're looking at worried about another game,
yeah,
and then thinking about a game that in 2 weeks that we Super Bowl game to play, and we're like, wait, man, we got to win this game first. So we kind of turned it on in the third quarter, and we wound up beating them 23-10.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so we're headed back to the Super Bowl again, and which like I said, that was our goal. It wasn't never to go undefeated.
Yeah.
It was just our goal was just to win the Super Bowl again.
Yeah. Now this Super Bowl was in Tampa, you said?
No, it was in Miami.
Miami. Okay, it was in Miami. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, now leading, you guys already won previous Super Bowl, so now everybody kind of know what to expect. What was there anything different going into this next Super Bowl that you think you guys?
It was kind of different. The thing about it was, we're the favorite versus being the underdog the year before, and a lot of times, man, in our this American culture, we root for the underdogs.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of people pulling for Atlanta. There was a lot of people. Okay, Elway got his. Now it's time for somebody else. They were a very charismatic team. They had Jamal Anderson. They have the Dirty Bird dance.
Bird, yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
A lot of people. It brought a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and they were, like I said, they were underdog. So a lot of people were trying to pull for them.
Yeah.
For us, man, it was like, okay, we have a lot to lose here, and not much to gain because, like, okay, everybody expects us to win. Yeah. If we win, congratulations, you won. You were supposed to win. But if we lose, then it's a huge story. If we lose, because hey, you're the champs, you win 14-2, best record in the AFC, and you're supposed to win. You got all these great players. You won it last time. But for me, it was another opportunity to go out and win a championship, and that's what was really the motivating factor for us.
Now, I remember before this game, you had told Terrell you felt like you was gonna have a good game. Leading up into that week of practice, I just, man, for something, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have a good game this game, and I knew the game plan was geared towards the tight end, and I know
Shannon was, Shannon's of course our starter, but for some reason I knew, we had some stuff coming into the game plan to make a lot of plays for the tight end because we knew that they were going to be crowding the line of scrimmage and trying to take away Terrell in our running game.
Gotcha.
And so we go into that game, and Shannon starts off that game, and he winds up getting hurt in the first quarter. And once Shannon gets hurt, Terrell comes up to me on the sideline and said, "Hey, man, this is your opportunity. You've been saying this all week. You're going to have a great game. Here's your opportunity to do it." So I went in the game and at the end of the first quarter and played the rest of the game and really had a pretty good game.
Well, what did you do? What did you do in that game?
I had 3 catches and all of them were for first downs.
Sweet.
To move the chains and
Yep.
keep drives alive, and we scored on those drives. Also, I recovered 2 onside kicks and was named the special teams player of the game.
Sweet,
for the
sweet.
Super Bowls. That was cool.
Man, that's tight. And y'all end up winning that game. And then you said it was another special moment that you taking the bus ride home or to the party.
Oh yeah,
Talk about that.
So everyone kind of knew that this was John's last game. He hadn't announced it was his last game, but we kind of knew it was going to be his last game.
Mm-hmm.
So after we won it, he's named MVP. And, we're doing all the interviews after the game. So you're getting pulled this way, that way. Hey, ESPN wants to talk to you. ABC wants to talk to you, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we're getting pulled and doing these different interviews or whatever. And me and him are the last 2 guys there. And we're still doing interviews as the team bus takes off and goes back to the hotel and goes to the team party. And so we wind up, the Broncos, had a guy there for us. His name was Fred Fleming, and they left, a bus to take us back. And so we wind up finishing up the interviews, taking showers, and getting on the bus. Well, as we're getting on the bus, there's a guy. He walks up to Fred. He's like, "Hey, I want to give you guys these Cuban cigars, victory cigars." So we're like, "All right, cool, man." So he gives us each one. We get on the bus, and we're asked the bus driver, "Hey, man, do you mind if we smoke these cigars on the bus?" He's like, "Man, you know what? Go right ahead, because not supposed to smoke on the bus, but we
special moment.
I think it's John's last game, and it's me, John, and Fred Fleming, and we share a victory cigar together, and on a bus ride back to the team party. Man, that was just the most special moment in time, knowing that it was going to be it for number 7. That was going to be this was his last game, and going out like that. So having that special moment with him was really cool. It was really cool.
Sweet. No, that sounds like some cool, special time that a lot of people didn't really get to talk and spend with the big number 7.
Yeah, man. We just on that bus, smoking a cigar, talking about the game, talking about things that happened, moments. Hey, you remember this? You remember this one in the third quarter? And just saying, hey, man, yeah. And
cool.
there was a play we talked about because I thought I was going to get a touchdown, and it's a famous play. It's the same play that if you know anything about football, the catch, what's Joe Montana and Dwight Clark called the catch. Well, that play is called sprint right option. And actually, Dwight Clark is the second. He's the number 2 guy on that.
Yeah.
The ball was supposed to go to Freddie Solomon. Well, we ran the exact same play.
Okay.
On there, and we're down on about the 3-yard line, and we run the play because we ran the same offense as the old school 49ers. So the play's called sprint right option. I'm in the slot. I'm the number one target on that
Yeah.
play. And so I'm thinking, okay, man, this is my chance to get a touchdown.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I have Cornelius Bennett is lined up over me. And, I do something that I shouldn't have done. Because Shannon Sharp always taught me, listen, when you got a DB over you, you beat him with power.
Yeah.
Like if they line the corner, shock him, hit him, and then break away.
Yeah.
Use your strength on him because you're bigger than him.
Yeah.
If you got a linebacker, you got to beat him with speed.
Yeah.
Don't try to get tangled up with them because most of them are strong and they'll try to grab you, whatever. And what I did was I tried to use the same technique that we use against DBs.
Yeah.
On the linebacker. we call it Rambo. You got to use the Rambo technique.
Yeah.
And Rambo is literally just go shock him, hit him in the shoulders, hit him in, shock him, and then break away. Use your strength. And I tried that against Cornelius, and as soon as I did it, he grabbed me, and I couldn't get loose.
Yeah.
And so once I got loose, I lost my footing.
Yeah.
And John's ready to throw the ball, and he throws it at my feet.
Okay.
And so we're on the bus talking about. He's like, "What happened on that play?" Because man, that play is almost like an automatic touchdown.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I told him, I said, man, I got tangled up with Cornelius instead of just beating him with speed.
Yeah.
Because I could have outran him. I could have just made a quick move and outran him, which I should have done.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I just couldn't hold it anymore, so and we wound up getting a field goal out of the deal, but I could have had my Super Bowl touchdown. I was thinking in my head, oh, this is my touchdown.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right option. This play always works.
Especially when you knew you had the linebacker on you.
Yeah. Especially when I knew, and it's that's why you have to, you always got to stick to your fundamentals and stick to what you're taught. And like I said, I've been taught. You get a linebacker, you beat him with speed. Yeah. You get a DB, you beat him with power because he's smaller than you. So, and I tried to use it, and it did. Obviously, it didn't work out for me.
Cool, man. Well, hey, let's talk about this past Super Bowl.
Okay.
A little bit, before we in the interview. Man, what'd you think about it?
I thought it was a great game. I thought it was a really good game. I thought, I was going for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Although I live here in LA and that's the home team, but I like the Bengals. I've always liked the Bengals. I liked the Bengals back in the day because they had cool tiger stripes on their uniforms, man.
Yeah,
and on their helmets. And they always play, back in the day, they always played an exciting brand of football. And so I was cheering for the Bengals. I would love to see them win their first one. But I thought it was a good game. I thought they made a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought going forward in the first quarter on fourth down at midfield was a mistake. And then I thought blocking wise, their scheme wise, there was a lot of flaws in their scheme.
Yeah.
And they eventually caught up to them. I understood, you're going to get pressure. They had the Rams have a great defensive front, but I've always been taught, and the way we did things in Denver, when you have to have a play, when it's 4th and 1, when it's whatever, the play that you have to account for their best player, whoever that is.
Yeah.
And you need to maybe have two guys account for him. We would play. I'll give you a perfect example. We played the San Diego Chargers every year. That's when they were in San Diego. And Junior Seau was by far their best player on defense.
No doubt.
Every play that we always had two guys assigned to Junior. Every play. We're like, he's not going to beat us. We're going to account for him. Somebody else that's a lesser player is going to have to make a great play to beat us.
Yeah.
And so I didn't understand on 4th and 1 that last play for Cincinnati why they didn't double team Aaron Donald.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm saying, look, I'm calling a play where we're gonna double team him.
Yep.
We got to do whatever with everybody else, but we're double teaming their best player. It's
No
it's
doubt.
the same. It's like you play basketball.
Yep.
When it comes down to the end, you're like, okay, we're gonna double team Kobe.
Yep.
We're gonna double team Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And if he makes the shot, then hey, he just makes the shot. But we're not gonna give it no one-on-one.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe because of Miller, they probably thought they had to do that.
Well,
what you think?
To me, you gotta make an assessment, and here's the thing: you gotta block inside out.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of the inside first, because that's the quickest way to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And Aaron Donald plays the nose tackle, so he's right there. And he beat that guy so fast, he was right on Joe Burrow like that.
Yeah.
If the guy's coming from the outside, you got a little more time.
Yeah.
Even if he beats him right away, you still got a little more time. And I've seen so many plays where guys are unblocked coming from the outside, and the quarterback still gets the ball off because it's a longer way to run.
Yeah.
But when he's right there lined up over the nose, and he beats him right away, you have no chance. And Joe Burrow had no chance. To me, like I said, I'm just looking at it like you got to double team their best player.
Yeah, at least take him out to play. Let
somebody
else beat you.
And if somebody else makes a great play, hey, they just make a great play.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with that because he was in the backfield the whole game.
The crazy thing about that play, if you look at the back end, Jamar Chase is wide open running down the sideline. If he had like an extra half second or to throw that ball, he might have scored. They might have scored a touchdown on that.
Wow.
And a lot of times that happens on 4th-and-1 plays where everybody's protecting that 1 yard, and you see it all the time where a guy busts open and he goes for a touchdown on 4th-and-1 because everybody's up front. So to me, you got to just give yourself as much time as you possibly can, and to me that means you got to double team Aaron Donald. Yeah. But Aaron Donald, on his side, man, he's a beast, and they say big time players make big time plays in big time games, and when you need it the most, and
that's what he did.
He stepped up when they needed it, when the Rams needed it the most.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, hey, brother, I appreciate your time, man. I know you're busy. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
thanks for the interview, man, and man, appreciate it. Hold on before you go. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Paul Michael Insurance. Need any insurance, hit them up on 405-632-2770. Thanks for coming on Shimmy Moose Sports Talk with Coach BV. BC, appreciate it, brother. Get back with you later, man. All right.
All right.
Peace.